Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of Flesh and Pod. My name is Abby, and I am your host. With me, as always, are Logan and Jordan. So Logan, I don't know that you did a whole lot in Flesh and Blood this week, but what did you do last week?
I paid for an indiscriminate amount of $12.50 beers. While sitting. Yeah, well, not really, because I was sitting in near perfect weather, taking in the greatest of all sports, that is baseball, and then also taking in the greatest of all live sports, which happens to be hockey. And having just a blast. It's been 2 years since I really got to watch spring training baseball. It's the best atmosphere. You can walk in any stadium wearing any team's gear, and people just chat you up. We found this place in the Reds Guardian Stadium that served Philly cheesesteak nachos.
Oh,
I ate more than one order of those, and my stomach is still not recovered from that. They at the Cubs Stadium at Sloan Stadium, they have Chicago dogs like you do, but they let you put your own amount of sport peppers on them.
Oh,
And I really should have been more judicious. I think I have a permanent hole in my stomach now,
yeah.
and that's
Well,
on me. That's
well,
on
hey,
me.
man, that's why society has guardrails to protect us from ourselves, and they did you dirty by removing those guardrails.
That's right.
Hey, dirty.
Yeah.
I think that our end total was 90 high lives consumed between the two of us.
That's a good amount.
Plus the beers at the games. As you can see, I have a nice tan now. After spending a week in nothing but sunshine.
Yeah, for audio people, he is bronze. Let me tell you.
I am a Greek god at this point. Outside of the physique, that's still a pile of shit. But so Flesh and Blood was I wouldn't say it's the furthest thing from my mind. I did a lot of talking in our Discord. Spoke with the team during the 5K event at the Realm. I didn't do nothing, but and interacted on Twitter. But as far as playing it goes, nah. I was recharging the batteries, man, and it was needed.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Jordan, what about you?
Well, I was not in the most beautiful weather spot of all time. I was in Mansfield, Ohio, over the weekend, where it snowed.
The most wonderful place in the world, right?
Don't you think that snow is the best weather?
I think snow is the best weather, but it was not particularly beautiful. It was kind of that like a gray, dark, like sleety snow.
Slushy, shitty stuff.
Yeah, like it not sticking, but like it was basically like heavy rain. Almost is a weird way to describe it.
To be fair, the gloomy and gray is Mansfield and not the snow.
That's fair. That's fair. I do prefer a snow-clad landscape to like a desert or a beach most of the time, though. That is true.
How much time have you spent in the desert? Like, do we have to? We need to get you back to the desert.
So I definitely need to go back to the desert, but
we are going back to the desert this year.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas in November.
I'll probably be there, so it's fine.
Oh, woo, shit! For our anniversary.
Yeah. So. We're probably going to be hopping back on our train of going to Vegas 2 or 3 times a year, and one of those is usually in November.
Oh, dope.
Yeah,
little FAP road trip.
Oh boy, that's a lot of hands.
Anyway, I played in the 5K. Yeah. Fapping aside, I top 8 of the 5K, which was cool. I played Stravo. I 4-1 to the Swiss portion and then lost the first round of top 8 to Chris Weidinger, who plays Viscerai, and he actually won the free seat to the 5K, and he's also like a Realm. The Realm is his like home local game store, so kind of a really cool thing to see a guy from the Realm go top 4. The best story that I have from that weekend, and I guess this kind of gets into us recapping the 5K a little bit, but the owner of the Realm, Keith, took Chris, me, and Abby to dinner at a Mexican restaurant, like a local Mexican restaurant, Friday night beforehand. You know, we chatted Flesh and Blood, we chatted the tournament, we chatted, kind of just a lot of stuff, and we all 3 of us, Keith, Chris, and I were very ill the back half of Saturday. Like sweating, upset stomachs. Like Chris and I are the feature match for the top 8 round. And right before it, he goes, "I feel so gross. I think I want to lose." And I went, "I feel so gross. I think I want to lose." So I had Nick, one of the judges of the event, also in our Discord. He the mommy prism enthusiast. He ran and grabbed us some waters, but there's points of that match where we're both just sweating, like resting our head in our hands while the other's taking their turn, like visibly ill. And we were talking about it. Keith goes, "Oh my god, I feel sick too." So like everyone involved at the tournament from like our side, and then like that dinner ended up getting sick except for Abigail. So
I was fine.
She was just okay.
Did she like did you all get the fajitas and she was just smart enough to get like the quesadilla? Is that what happened?
So Keith and I got this molheto, I think is what it was called. It's basically that restaurant's version of the big bowl with like all the meats and the peppers and the sauce, right? Chris though just got like 2 tacos.
Yeah,
Like,
you got street tacos.
Yeah, he didn't get anything like extravagant. Abby didn't eat all of hers, so I think that might have been.
To be fair, I almost ate an entire basket of chips on my own. I was very hungry.
I did but was like Abby had chicken and y'all had beef. Like
I had chicken, beef, and pork, so I had a variety in there as well.
Yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
There's no through line here.
No, we can't figure it out.
Abby Kennedy has a fucking iron stomach, and
but here's the thing: I have the worst stomach. I am always the one that gets sick.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I'm
well, it's not
here.
weird. I have like medical conditions, so it's
Sure.
really not strange.
It's not
but
that strange.
but yeah, I had no problems. It was fine.
Well, I guess taste it.
Exactly. Always.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're fine now, and but I saw stills of the event and watched a little bit of the coverage, and honestly, it looked like it was really well put together from what I saw. I'm sad I couldn't be there, obviously, but
yeah, it ran really, really well. Like the coverage team did a good job from everything that we heard. They had good numbers on the viewing station. It felt like a big time marquee event with the space, like the convention center that they had it in was very nice. They had a good single selection. The giveaways for the sleeves were great. Like I won a pack of the Olden sleeves, so that was pretty cool.
They take a lunch break, which is the greatest thing that's ever happened at a tournament.
You said they didn't, right?
They did not.
Yeah.
I am not a lunch break person.
I am not a lunch break person.
Me neither. And they didn't, which was great.
Like it's just a goddamn tease.
Right. Like just like don't let me. You just gotta be grouchy at the end. That's just what we all sign up for.
Right. Like, well, you're gonna sit there and hold me hostage so I can go get some fucking convention center food for $19 for a goddamn hot dog and expect me to thank you for it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're not gonna give me enough time to go get a fucking real meal. You're not gonna give me enough time to fire one out if I need to afterwards. What you're gonna do is you're gonna sit me down at this really shitty station eating nothing but pure sodium on a fucking bun, which is bread, which is great. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is funneling fucking money to these goddamn convention center parasites, and I'm just going to be madder for it. So get me through this fucking tournament.
Yeah, that is. I mean, like, and you always do it at weird break points where, like,
yeah,
I'm like the next round after the lunch break is like the start the drop point for so many people.
Right.
Like, let me just fucking leave now and go get lunch on my. I just can't stand it. Blah.
Yeah, but, out on the lunch break. Out on the lunch break.
Not a fan.
Yeah, but no, otherwise, or because of the lunch break, the tournament was great. And it was 10 out of 10. I had a lot of fun. Abby had an actual week in Flesh and Blood this week, too, which is unusual.
Abigail?
First off, I do Flesh and Blood stuff often. I do it often. I won't say all the time because that would be a lie.
The brakes were pumped very aggressively right there.
I wanted to prevent the correction corner that I absolutely would have put myself in. But yeah, so I did commentary on Saturday. It was very interesting for me. I've never done really anything like it before. As a person who doesn't love talking.
That's a heck of a job.
That was my whole job.
And host a podcast. A great idea.
You've definitely fallen into the right career choice, it seems like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you're getting it. Yeah.
I had a blast. I have no idea if I did any good or not. If you watched any of it and you have feedback, please let me know. because obviously no one is perfect on their first go round. I know one of the big things that we struggle, well, I don't want to say struggled with, but all of the feature matches, except for the top 4 match we did, were done in like 15 minutes. And I could not fill as much time as we constantly had, which was definitely kind of a downer because I know that like putting in breaks all the time kind of sucks. But like, I mean,
Yeah.
I was like out of literally anything to talk about.
And-
So that's definitely something that I have to work on.
And
But
we've
I
talked
mean, I had
about-
fun.
You could have brought up bread at
Yeah,
any point.
there's a lot
I'm
of
pretty
bread to
sure
talk
I
about.
did. I brought up bread. I shit talked Jordan a lot.
Okay, well, you did your job.
I
then.
forgot to talk about the podcast, which was like the whole point.
Ow.
You know that
Jesus.
So-
you know that gif where Jonah Hill takes off his glasses and rubs the bridge of his nose?
It's that one.
So we finished the final match, and we're waiting for Travis McDaniel, local Ohio guy, ended up winning it. So we're waiting, or no, it was right after we did his interview, and he leaves, and I'm getting ready to go, and then Ben, the guy I was hosting with, goes, before you go, do you want to come over and talk about your podcast? And I was like, oh right,
That thing.
that's what I'm
right.
supposed
The
to
whole
do.
thing I'm here to
the
do,
whole
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, well, the partnership we have with this tournament, that'd be great.
Shit.
So whoopsie.
funny.
But no, I had a lot of fun. We outside of top 8, we tried really hard to pick matchups that weren't going to be common. So like we didn't have a Starvo until I think round 4.
There's some cops involved. I saw that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so our first match was a Katsukano, and then we had a Lexi. I don't remember who Lexi played.
That's okay.
But like we tried really hard not to have every Strava be in every match. Maybe it was Lexi Prism. I don't remember. Yeah. But so that was cool to kind of like get to have a say in that. Because we didn't want it to be the same thing over and over and over. And then we got to top 8 and he was there every game naturally. But no, it was really good. Saw a lot of cool games. We had a judge ruling for an issue the first match, which we didn't catch. They were actually, the judges were over talking about it, and our judge friend Chuck posted in the chat that it was someone drew a card off of Mask, but he wasn't supposed to.
It was off of the Kadachi. Was the third
it was off
highest.
of Kadachi
Yeah,
and
the
not
attack action card.
and I didn't even notice it, and they had already packed up. So then it was like, then they were all figuring out what it was going to be and all of that. And I think it was an IP2
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an IP2.
penalty.
It was actually an IP3 for anybody that's counting.
Yes.
Is it a
But
three?
that was cool.
Well, no, it's an
It's
IP2.
3 rounds.
But it's 3 draws.
It's
Wait.
your
Oh,
first hand and then 2 additional, so 3.
sure.
But I mean, I had a great time. I would
There you go.
absolutely do it again. I
Could you
just
do it
gotta-
with me in the booth, though? That's the question.
See, here's the thing. I think so. Like, I got along with Ben really well, and I think we had like good conversation and banter. Like, I think we balanced it pretty well. But I think that third person would have just because, like, I mean, gaps alone was just so hard, and like I can only talk about so much, and and I'm sure the same for Ben. But I think having a third person would have really rounded it out well.
You need the shit talker extreme to be in there to talk shit.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. One of the other things we had was it was kind of hard to see the cards. So we've got that for like the next one. Some of them had a glare, and it was kind of like the camera was higher up, but not like zoomed in enough that I could like make out even the artwork on some
Yeah.
of the cards.
You see, there's some horrible things I can think of right now. Because if I ever saw Kano going off or something like that, I would just be yelling out, "This turn's brought to you by Brazzers" or something like that. Just getting really aggressive with it. But
Yeah, we certainly did not do that.
I did notice that there was kind of hard to read cards. with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's an
But,
improvement point for next time too.
Oh, sure.
exactly. And being the first one, now we know, we know what to look for. Like one of the things we had, which we started doing after I think round 1, was like marking out what the damage is. Cause it's just even once you get to the point where you can at least see like the card picture, like the artwork, so you can start. But like that number is so small in that corner, and I'm like, so then we had them start putting like the die on, and then like we had 2 colored die, so if it was like arcane or like regular, just kind of helping out, and that helped a whole lot. Made it a lot easier for us. So, all in all, I had a lot of fun. Seriously, if you watched it, please let me know honest feedback, because I'll never get better if I don't learn. So,
God, that's why Abby's the best in the
Chuck
fucking business.
and Griddle, and I'm trying to think who else was in there. I know those 2 because we had conversations.
The pedantic one and Taylor. Yeah.
Yes, let us know. Okay, that was a really long intro.
We did the
right.
5K recap in that too.
Well,
we're chugging.
And I think that was the most Abby we've had in an episode.
I know.
And
well, see, I did all that talking, so now I am expecting to talk more. So
yeah, you
move
now
over.
You have put that onus on yourself, though.
That's
like,
right.
We did not do that.
Yeah, like that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right.
It just means more 3 beer and 4 beer shows.
Exactly.
Oh no.
All right. So news this week. All right, I'm moving on. The ProQuest Season 2 was announced. It starts the weekend of the Pro Tour, which I have some questions on, but we'll go over the overview here. So it's going to run from May 14th to June 5th. Prize kits: 1 random drop gold cold foil card. There is a please note, which means this has happened, which is a problem. Stores cannot open it. It is for the winner to open. So if you know a store that's doing that, please tell them to stop.
Big
1 Dragon Shield OP display.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
For the sleeves.
Oh, yeah, it's like the case of 10 sleeves, probably.
Gotcha.
Limited edition ones, I believe, for the top.
Yes. Plus 2 judge or door prize. Judge support is 6 War Tune Herald Extended Art Rainbow Foil Judge promo. God.
What color?
What do you mean? It doesn't say.
Probably red.
It does not say.
Did they just do red?
And then 2 Dragon Shield limited edition sleeves. Please note, if your event does not have 2 judges, the excess sleeves and extended art rainbow foil promos can be given as door prizes. There you go.
All right.
So let's talk about that timing real quick.
Yeah.
You're going to dead ass put your first Pro Quests on the same weekend as the Pro Tour?
What is the incentive to go to the Pro Tour if you're making me choose between basically like a Pro Quest and a calling now, which is a weird.
Calling and a battle hardened, so you get to answer the call and get hard, but but you'd have to think that these Pro Quests. I mean, like if you're somebody that's really trying to scout, you remember back in the day when people would fly to like North Dakota for a PTQ because they were expecting a softer field, that type of thing. That's kind of where you're at now. It's like, okay. So if I just go to the Pro Quest, I'm going to go play in a Pro Quest that literally nobody who is qualified for the Pro Tour is possibly going to be at.
Yep.
Okay, and also, bear in mind that some of the people that are most interested in attending the Pro Tour would also be looking at and going, okay, this Pro Tour is in France, and I don't have a passport, or I don't have the money to
the resources,
France, or the time. They may be sitting that out anyway. So, I mean, it's almost like you're saying to the true D-Gen chasers out there, you get 1. So this is your shot.
That's really
find
true.
Out. Yeah, and I'm just like, because one of the people brought it up in one of the Discords, and either the Iowa one or the podcast Discord. It's like, hey, if you ever wanted to have a field that was going to be softer, this is probably the only guarantee you'll ever have. I'm like, got a point.
Yeah.
your true ringers will not be in there.
Do you think they add one like on Sunday or Saturday
Well,
even?
the battle hardened functions as a Pro Tour qualifier.
Well, I know, but like, I mean, like an additional one. So like your battle hardened starts at 10, and then you do a pro quest at 2 for everyone that's already out of the battle hardened. Like, do you think they add one? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Jordan,
Go ahead. I see it.
It's a
Chew Beer Show. God,
there it
this
is.
my favorite thing. I didn't come through. God damn it! Your noise gate clipped it.
Oh,
Damn it! He cracked another beer. It's my favorite bit.
Yeah.
No, so I don't think so. Only because of like event staff and logistics and things like that associated with running like the Pro Tour Top 8, a battle hardened side event, and then now another second premier event. I don't see, and you're gonna have calling day too, going on at the same time. So
Right.
probably not.
I imagine
LSS. If you need someone who's good at logistics, let me know.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, I really do think that how is the Pro Tour, the first ever Pro Tour, not an all hands on deck scenario as well?
Yeah.
For judges, for organization, for anybody that you have in the pipeline that has said, hey, I want to be involved in organized play, whether it be logistics, judging, scorekeeping, etc. This is all hands on deck, right? Like
Right.
This is, you would think.
You could have judge conferences around this. You could have how to be a better TO conferences around this. Like this weekend could be God, like for so many good things. And I get it. LSS is a small company. Their one game is Flesh and Blood, right? Like they might just not have the resources to do something like that. And Magic never did that, right? Like the Pro Tour was the Pro Tour, but still, like To hold this out as a thing where like, hey, this weekend's for everybody, come get, and we'll talk about ticket packages for that in a minute. Like there's something for everybody this weekend, but then to shove your players who are on that bubble that like playing PTQs but didn't qualify elsewhere feels weird to me. It does feel really weird.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a, I mean, and maybe I'm reading this totally wrong. Maybe the pro quests that'll be run on that weekend are all overseas or something. Something that makes a little more sense.
Maybe.
But right now it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't to me either. Especially knowing that like that is a very real choice that like I'm gonna have to make. I know a lot of my friends are gonna have to make.
I already made it.
You going to New Jersey?
Yeah, I can't think of a reason not to. And talking with our newfound friends at Flesh and Buds, who are, one of them is in Jersey. He kind of described to me, hey, look, if you're in that area, in the Jersey City, Hoboken area, it's a good fucking time. So
it's like a vacation anyway.
Yeah, if you roll in, hit me up. We'll do some shit. And I'm like, that's a pretty big incentive.
Yeah.
You need to go to somewhere regionally that you're not accustomed to, and you get somebody to kind of Sherpa you a little bit. You kind of take those.
No, for sure. Yeah, the biggest feel bad that would, everything else feels unavoidable, or at least like a side grade. It would really suck if there was like a pro quest within 2 hours from me. That would feel really bad.
That would be bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm in Iowa and there are no fucking pro quests 2 hours from me.
Yeah, there were 6, 5.
Shut up! I don't need your shit right now.
Well, I don't mean that as a dig. I actually don't mean that as a dig. I know you're tired and not in the mood for digs.
Your candy ass is sitting there like, I had 6 within X, but I only played 2. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I had to travel to goddamn St. Louis and play in a 96 person pro quest that had a quarter of the fucking Nats top 8 in it, and you're sitting there going, I paid to play this event, but I'm staying home. Go fuck yourself.
I did light so much money on fire this pro quest season. That can't happen again.
I didn't go to any.
I can't.
So, be clear on that.
It's a 60 card format. You're absolved.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, but I think we agree that like I think New Jersey is the play for like enthusiasts. But like
I would classify myself as an enthusiast.
I think so too.
I think that our discussions on our relationships with the game have have definitely been very fruitful, and it's made me understand that I am not necessarily ever going to be, somebody that puts in the work to be great, but fuck if I can't be an enthusiast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Casually
and
competitive, I think, is the phrase the kids
yeah,
use. Yeah.
Speaking of competitive, we didn't talk about this at the Realm. We had okay.
Oh yeah, the 5K was stacked.
Oh my god. It was insane. So we had Pat who top aided the calling in Indianapolis. We had Charles Dunn who won the calling in Philly. We had Travis who top aided the battle hardened in Indianapolis. Um
didn't he also win a ProQuest? If I remember right.
Travis has a
Yeah,
PQ and he's
yes.
qualified for New Jersey.
yeah,
You had Jordan, who has lost a lot of flesh and blood.
yeah.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
top eight.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every time I
And
turned
yeah,
around, they're
Chris
like, "Oh
Weidinger's
yes,
multiple ProQuest top 8s. Yeah.
so and so did this," and I was like, "Haha,
Yeah, it was
I
a
play
nuts
some
field.
games." It was
Like,
crazy.
the top 4 was a very well deserved top 4 between Pat, Charles, Travis, and Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was nuts. It was absolutely. It's really weird to make the top 8 and then instantly go like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the worst half." Like I
How does
am
that feel?
I am bottom 8, like
I do realize that I've had that before. It's like, okay, so if I'm just paired up, nope, that's over.
yeah. Yeah, and it's funny cuz Chris and I play the Strava versus Viscerai matchup frequently. Like he's the main person I've tested that with, and our games are about 50-50, which I know is bad. Like I'm wrong cuz like it should be Strava favored from what I understand, but like can't figure it out.
Is the OTK?
Yes.
Okay, so a good OTK Viscerai player versus a good Starvo player, it is a coin flip. It is 50-50.
I
also-
miss what's that?
We also had a Katsu top 8.
Oh,
We
God,
had 2 Katsu
was
top 8s, right?
awesome.
fucking
Was it
Katsu,
2?
baby.
I think both of the Katsu's top 8.
Oh yeah, it was 3 Starvo, 2 Katsu,
A Prism
and
and a
then
Viscerai.
Prism, Viscerai. 3.
Was there a Lexi?
No, what was the other one?
So
Maybe it was 2 Prism.
So Pat, Charles, me were on Bravo.
Bravo.
Chris was on Viscerai. Travis was on Prism. We had 2 Katsus, and then there's like one ghost thing that I can't remember. I was running back and forth between the restroom
Not
because
Briar,
I was sick.
not-
Briar.
it was
It was
Briar,
Briar. It was
yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it was Matt on Briar. It was Briar.
Two Katsus. That. I mean,
It was
Katsu
crazy.
in Starvo's world is bringing a knife to a gunfight. So literally,
Well, I think their only losses were 2 Bravos throughout the day.
yeah,
Mhm.
which is
that's what
right.
makes
Which
sense.
is right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But no. So speaking of stacked events, yeah, that event was stacked ab. But
It was crazy.
I think if I
Um,
do anything, like I'm still on the fence about New Jersey in terms of like just vacation and life and like
Let's talk about it. Like, not to steal Abby's thunder, but let's talk about it.
okay.
Abby, what do we got for Jersey?
Okay, so here they released the event packages, so I'm gonna run through those. And then we can talk about more New Jersey.
Good
Ma'am,
idea.
no.
Abby's yelling at the cat, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 3 packages. The first one is Fabled Main Event Package. It gets you an entry into the calling. 3 constructed or draft event entry coupons. Yorick, the new hero.
This fucking thing.
A pack of spring tunic dragon shield sleeves and a channel fireball deck box. And then we have the constructed go again side event package, and that is 2 daily double constructed event entry coupons, 3 constructed event entry coupons, and then the Yorick the hero, the tunic sleeves, and the channel fireball deck box. And then the limited go again side event package, which is 2 daily double sealed event entry coupons, 2 draft event entry coupons, and then Yorick tunic sleeves and deck box.
Several things.
Yep.
I already purchased the Fable main event package. I will probably also purchase the limited go again package. so again, they've diversified the offerings, right? They're not just catering to the hardcore player. And I think that's always going to be important for us to delineate when we're talking about these offerings. This is built for everyone who wants to play the way they want to play. And I think that these packages are brilliant. I think that the things that are included in the package, especially the tunic sleeves. Homeboy is another thing entirely. We'll talk about Homeboy in a minute. But I think that is actually insane value, especially if they never do them again. So I feel like there's so much on the table at this event and things they haven't talked about yet that they definitely have focused in on making this a can't miss type of opportunity. That's my take on it.
I think I agree. Like we talked about enthusiasts earlier. If you're an enthusiast, this is probably a sweet weekend. What are likely to be exclusive sleeves, what is definitely an exclusive cold foil hero, and just the event, and like who knows what other kind of stuff is there. You get to watch. Like being live at tournaments is great for enthusiasts anyway. So they've definitely done it up. I could balk at the idea that the constructed Gogan package is the same price as the limited side event package.
Right.
That should be a crime.
Well, no, it's good for us that want to play limited.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It makes it very easy to grab the limited thing. That and the calling package is very good with that in mind, right? Like
constructed or draft. Like
yeah, that's insane. And that makes the constructed Gogan package even worse. But
yeah. We're just shitting all over this constructed package because we just don't want to play fucking constructed.
Yeah. And that ultimately might be what it comes down to for me is like, do I want to practice before the Pro Tour? Granted, I have friends that are qualified, like we all do, right? So we all could get better for that. But I think what you're doing with, hey, I'm going to go register for the calling. If it goes well, I'm playing the calling, but otherwise I'm just going to vibe. I wish there was another draft format that wasn't Tales of Aria.
I get the sneaking suspicion that there will be. I get the sneaking suspicion that they're going to have Monarch drafts, Arc drafts, WTR drafts, and Tales drafts.
That would be cool.
And they normally do the I can't think of what they call it. But they do where you get a pack of
whatever.
You get a random 6 or a random 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's no hero requirements. Yeah. But I feel like that they're, with this event being what it is, and I feel like that there is going to be more opportunity than just Tales. I also feel like they're going to be doing some crazy shit when it comes to prize wall availabilities and things that we've never seen before. All of this is the first salvo, right, of stuff that we've seen, and the first salvo is rarely the best of it. And
it's true.
I honestly feel like that there's going to be something else, and even if there isn't, this is still sweet.
I completely agree.
That's my 2 cents.
When did this article come out? Let's see. 2 days ago.
2 days ago. God,
came
I don't
out
know what time is anymore. Holy
Okay.
shit.
That's funny.
But here's the thing. And this is really important, so we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about Yorick.
His name is Homeboy.
We
refer to him as such.
So the card text for any of our listeners that haven't seen it yet. So it is Yorick, Weaver of Tales. He is a young bard hero. And then his ability is at the start of the game, all heroes shuffle their starting decks together. All heroes share the same deck and graveyard this game.
Let's go.
This is the greatest multiplayer card that's ever been made.
Yeah. Do you understand that you can be playing a 4-person game and have 4 Garganian Tomes and 8 Crazy Brews going and 8 Coxa Commotions? We can get up to some shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, imagine drawing 3 off of your Garganian Tome. It's
filth. Utter filth.
Yeah, non-attack action, draw 3. It's still my turn.
Yeah. It's my turn. Feels great.
Imagine like you have a Fabled in your deck and the other person gets to play it. Like, oh, that was a really good $300 I spent.
Jordan, have you ever opened one of those?
Hey.
Asking for a friend.
Oof.
Wow.
Hey, Abby, how many have you opened?
One more than Jordan.
Sadly for you, that's also 6 less than me.
Hey, that's fine. The joke's not on you here.
For once, you're right. The joke is not on me.
That's funny. No, yeah, so
Jordan sucks. Yeah, we get it.
God damn it. Funny, this whole part's going to be edited out. Who knew?
Who does that?
Weird audio scuffed. I don't know.
God.
No, so this is, I mean, obviously it's a multiplayer only card, right? Like but it is a cool, like, people that wanted the Bard. I think you get your Bard and you get it in a non-competitive space, which I think is a very Bard thing.
Yeah.
So, and the cold foil backing is like, if you haven't seen it, imagine it's like, we'll put a link to it in the show notes, but imagine it's like Bravo Star the Show's backing. It's like a full art version on the back, and it looks gorgeous.
The artwork is stunning.
I mean, you just sit there wanting. I mean, I know that I want to toss a coin to my Witcher whenever I see this card.
Yeah. This guy inspires me to pay the bad demon man that kills bad things. Is that what a Witcher is? He's a good demon man? I don't know enough.
Yeah, but calling him bad is.
I guess that's
you can't call him bad if he's taking care of the bad stuff.
Well, he's also kind of gray.
He might be like morally gray.
This isn't
bad.
This isn't a Witcher podcast. This is a bread podcast. So
that's fair. That's fair. Fair enough.
Don't ever eat gray bread. That's probably not good. There you go.
There's some gray bread. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that this is fun shit, man. Like, this is good times. There's gonna be thousands of these Yorks out in the wild. So anybody that's like thinking that they're gonna instantly profit, like, maybe, but probably not.
I think if you sit for a year, like we all
like
did on the what was the promo from Cincinnati?
Minerva Themsis.
Yeah, we had 3 of those. And I
still have 3 of those.
Yeah, that's probably good though, because like I sold them to a vendor, and he gave me like I think he offered me like 35 at the time, and they were in the middle of their spike, and I was like, why did you 35? Hold on, one of us is very wrong, and I want to just see. So I pulled them up, and I was like, I think they were like 60 at the time. They were like just then spiking or whatever, and
the cheapest listing on tcgplayer.com right now is $115.
Oh god, makes me sick.
This is fucking hilarious.
Casual gave you up $160. Sweet. One's in my cube still. Cube. Yeah, but no, yeah. So like, I think after a year or so, we'll see something like that, and even maybe quicker if the casual or multiplayer formats of Fab really take off, because right now they're not super existent. But if you're like, hey, I want to buy this and get it for the long haul, right after the PT might be the time. I'm not a finance guy. I know nothing about that. I could be a lie.
No, I think you're right. I think that basically my feeling on Flesh and Blood is still the same as it was when I first got in. Flesh and Blood is on sale. It is currently as cheap as it's going to be in most cases. And if you are interested in being in, your window is closing. Get in now. It is currently on sale. You look at what's going on with this game. You look at the kind of attendance. You look at the kind of events. You look at the kind of support. You put all these things together, and you have the hallmark of a game that's going to be around for a while. Barring that it's not Starvo 2.0 coming up soon. But even then, the game's going to still be around a while. It's a great game. It's mechanically a great game.
Completely agree.
Everything's put together well. The art is cool. The game is flavorful on its own. There are just so many things that make sense. And for me, everything right now, selling anything right now, in my mind, if you don't need to, is a mistake. And
that could be true.
That's just why I haven't. I mean, I just hoard like a fucking dragon. And it's a lot of that is, one, I do want the ability to build anything I want to, whenever I want to, without any limitations. But the other end of that is it would feel like a mistake to sell off at all. So I'm just hoarding these things, and this is that same type of mentality where this later on could end up being casual catches on hard. similar to how it did in Magic eventually. And suddenly people are like, God, we need one of these. One of the Yorks. We need a Bard. Like, okay, let's go buy one. They're $600. That could happen. But anybody that's looking for the quick flip, this ain't it.
This one ain't it. This one ain't it. I mean, this is it's not off topic from what you were mentioning, but it is off topic from the show. But I like, in terms of if this game, like, I think everybody talks about like games that have to last a long time. Like, we live in a weird age now where like World of Warcraft, Magic, Pokemon, League of Legends have all lasted 20 years, right? And games are looked at as a failure if they don't last that long anymore. Like, oh my God, people only play this game for a year. First of all, the fact that Flesh and Blood has been around for like 3 is like an anomaly in the history of gaming, right? Like,
during a global pandemic.
Right. A game that it is not based online launched when you were only allowed to be online. Right. And it is killing it. So like, I think, if someone said to me, hey, Flesh and Blood's going to be around for like 8 more years, right? Which I think is conservative, right? That would be an incredible run out, given that what we historically, given what we historically know about games. Like, only a couple of sacred cows have lasted that long or longer, like the ones I just named, right? Like, because games just don't last that long. They're not designed to. So the ones that do have real staying power, and if Flesh and Blood is one of them, then like you said, now cards are free. So you ever hear about the guy that has all the Power 9 for Magic and he bought them for $1 a piece and then he sold them to buy his house? This is that, potentially. Yeah. Not trying to Ponzi scheme you though. You should probably just put money in your 401k.
Is your name Madoff? Did we?
yeah.
Are you still paying Bobby Bonilla? Is that?
Yeah. Well, I'm still paying Ken Griffey. I'm still paying Ken Griffey Jr. So.
What a God damn it!
That's good reference.
I hate when we put those refs in there, and then you're like thinking about our listenership and going,
You know what? A Bobby Bonilla reference. Everybody should just Google Bobby Bonilla if you don't know who he is. Bonilla, right? Did he spell Bobby's last name?
Bonilla. Yes.
Okay, yeah, Bobby Bonilla. He played for the Mets. Look up what is cool about him, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
All right. So moving on. Our Reddit thread of the week. I know how much everyone missed it last week, so it's back. This was posted by Popper Guy.
Ooh.
And the post is, I just started playing and I got the Lexian Oldhim Blitz decks. What sets/booster box would I need to best upgrade the decks? What are some decent staples to grab for each deck or for any deck in general? Thanks.
So I picked this Reddit thread not because of the heroes, specifically, because like I think if you're playing like Lexi Oldhim, you should buy the sets that have Lexi and Oldhim cards, like Tales of Aria. But I thought about this in general as like a what sets of booster boxes are like the best place to start if someone's like, hey, like I've played a couple of games, I really like this, I kind of want to take the plunge. Where would you suggest someone start? And I thought that was kind of a fun kind of almost not necessarily evergreen, but if we could give general advice, I would say Welcome to Wraith, personally, would be my...
I would say it depends on how deep you want to plunge. If you're looking at, I want to start a collection and have a reasonable deck to play, and I have enough to buy 4 boxes, let's say. I would say 2 Welcome to Wraith, 2 Tales of Aria.
It's a good split.
You can damn near build a competitive deck out of 2 boxes of Tales of Aria. I only know this because I've done it. But if you're plunging a little bit and you want something a little bit better, the generics in Welcome to Wraith are kind of where you want to be. There's just so many things in there that make sense, that are good, that your Razor Reflexes of the world, your Snatches, your
Pummels, you have
Pummels, yep, Sink Below, or it's not Fate for 16, but Sink Below, Unmovable. You just have a bunch of high quality playable generics. You don't have that at all in Aria, but in Aria you have things that are so narrow, so narrow in scope that the decks kind of build themselves out of those boxes.
Like Elemental Ranger cards, for example, are great.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Or Elemental Runeblade cards.
Right. Yeah, like if you're like, hey, I want to play Briar, like Arcane Rising and Tales of Aria are two great boxes. They're great.
And then kind of the narrowing scope is you kind of get to just play Oldhim however you want to, because you'll get the Guardian cards out of WTR.
Yeah.
And be able to build a decent Oldhim deck almost immediately. So I think that's where I'm at. If you're gonna buy 2 boxes, I'd still say Tales of Aria, just for that same effect, where the cards are more narrow, and you have the ability to open more of the same things. If you want to just get a start, though, Welcome to Wraith is hard to beat.
Yeah, I think I ultimately agree. Just because of what, like you said, Tales of Aria is a pre-boxed expansion. Like it plays well within itself. My biggest gripe with Flesh and Blood in terms of that is a lot of the times you would tell someone, hey, you know what you should do? You should just draft a ton and figure out like what your style is and where you like to be. And it's really hard to do in Flesh and Blood when you get like one draft set every every 9 months. I think that's kind of, as a guy that loves to draft, it's a shame that like September to June is like the draft season. Right, we got a draft format in September. We won't get a new one until June. Yeah, so it's really hard to tell a new player, hey, just go draft a bunch, because you can't find Tales of Aria drafts right now, let alone Monarch or Arcane or Welcome to Wraith, right? Like in Magic, it'd be very easy to go, hey, you want to build your collection and like get cards and like learn the game, whatever. Because I'd hate to tell someone to go buy like, oh, hey, go buy Arcane Rising because Runeblade's always going to be good. Runeblade's always going to be good. Or like, hey, go buy Welcome to Wraith because Guardian's always going to be good. And then them hate those styles. Right. That would feel really bad, because I've done that in this game where I was like, hey, I'm really gonna like this style of deck, built it, bought it. This kind of wasn't my thing, and then did it with another thing, So I would like there to be another avenue for players to enter on a more cost efficient level than just like, hey, buy boxes and hope to hit cards for decks. But I do think staples wise, Arcane Rising, Welcome to Wraith are the best, but Tales of Aria is such a good all-in-one set that it's really hard to deviate from that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that we're both on the same page. Abby, do you have a page?
I think I think I would agree. So we started on Monarch, and then not long after Aria came out.
Yeah,
right?
We bought Blitz Monarch decks in a box of.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Jordan started playing in the reign of Ramses II.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I started playing
okay.
at a much later date.
Yeah, we bought Monarch Blitz decks and bought a box of Monarch, and then like literally like 2 weeks later, Tales of Aria came out. I think.
So obviously, I'm sure my thoughts are skewed on this because I wasn't around for Noah's Ark, but
it's okay. There wasn't a lot of us there.
I just felt like Aria, like I could open a box and from there put together a pretty good deck.
Yeah.
And I haven't, outside of the OG, I haven't really felt that way on any of the others. So like I would agree with Logan, like 2 and 2. If you can't do that, I would start with Aria. Personally.
Yeah, definitely agree.
We just beat Reddit at their own game. Felt
That's
good.
right.
Upvote that.
Chase that.
Is that how that works?
I don't know. I'm pretty bad at Reddit.
I don't even have a Reddit account.
My account's pretty old. Actually, I could sell my account for some good money. Because it's like
fucking kidding.
No, yeah, you could sell them to advertising agencies who like rely on like established accounts to like have like give credit to the post. Because it's like really obvious if you have like a new account post an advertisement. But if you have like my account's like 11 years old and it has like a bunch of upvotes karma, so like I could sell it to like an ad agency that would then use my account to like seem more legitimate when it posts like quote unquote grassroots campaigns.
Right.
Oh my god. Okay.
Online advertising is bananas, man.
All right. So we're going to move on to our listener questions. We have 5. So we are going to rapid fire these.
Bang, bang, bang.
And by rapid fire, I mean we're gonna rapid fire one of them. And I'm literally gonna time you guys to 30 seconds, but that's not this one. So our first question is from Fighting Walloon, and it is, my local meta has lost some players lately because weekly armories are super competitive. We have several really good players locally who enjoy competing at big events and use the local play to hone in on their skills. Budget and casual players find it harder to coexist in this environment. Is it possible to have a local meta with more casual and more competitive player? Wait, is
You
it
got it.
is it possible to have a local meta where more casual and more competitive players all enjoy the game? Jesus. Who wants to go first?
Logan, you're more of a community builder than I am, so I think I would benefit from hearing what you have to say, and then
This is so fucking hard.
yeah.
Um,
And I say you should go first only because I exist in a very competitive area in card gaming. Like countrywide, Columbus is competitive, right? Like the Midwest in particular is a very competitive
Yeah,
area for card games.
yeah.
So I don't know if I know if, like, for Magic, we had definitely pushed like casual players out of the 1v1 formats, just or adapted them, right? Or they got folded in, you know.
So there's no easy answer to this at all. It's almost like you have to have spots that you pick to make sure that that the competitive players out there understand that we're not trying to be competitive here for this particular thing. If that means that that you're out and you don't enjoy and don't want to be a part of it, feel free. We do a lot of here in the Des Moines area, there's Commoner Nights. That's not a competitive format, and that helps a lot. It gets people in. They can build decks out of what they have for the most part. And so play Commoner Blitz, and it's not ultra competitive. There are also times when we'll literally say in the Discord, it's Blitz night. It's kind of a dull format or whatever. So it's time to meme. And people will just bring the memeiest what the fuck decks that they can come up with. People playing Talishar Lexi. I build Shiana Money Pile, stuff like that, where it's like, we are doing this to have a good time. It is not an armory night. It is an on-demand night. So we're not going to throw down. We're just going to have a good time. And I think that kind of communication is important. And that's where the loss happens almost entirely everywhere, right? Is bad or lack of communication. And that's where most communities can improve, is saying, hey, this is for the new players. This is for the people just jumping in, leave the gas, leave the foot off the gas pedal. We're looking to teach. We're not looking to brain, we're not looking to body anybody. We're looking to show them how fun the game is. And when you blow them out, on a one-turn kill, it's not exactly fun. So it's kind of just being clear on what you're trying to do. I don't know that you can ever reconcile the two camps. I guess the hope is that you're good enough at both that the casual players play some competitive things and the competitive players dip in and play some casual things. The competitive players playing the casual things, they're going to always have things tuned to be competitive because that's in their nature. It's the lion and the scorpion or whatever. It's same thing with the casual players though. They're going to be there to be competitive, but they're going to be playing some fun fucking jank, things that they want to do. So it's almost like you have to embrace both and let each of them know what they're trying, what they're going for. I think that's the only thing you can do. It's self-police, basically.
Yeah, my guess is that your competitive players want to foster the game and also want to foster a more competitive culture. Like if you said to them, hey, it would really help us out if you guys played some like jank at the next like armory to like, or played like something awkward or like helped one of the newer guys or like whatever, they would probably really like that shit. Knowing that their opinion's validated and like they feel special because like competitive card players fucking love to think that they're the most important people in the room. And like I think that knowing that they're helping foster their scene would help a lot more too, because it does benefit, them if the store gets more competitive, or even just like has more players as a whole, whether competitive or casual players. Like the competitive players benefit from a bigger scene.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the other big things too is being like up to date on like what is going on, right? So like when the competitive seasons are happening, having that conversation with the not as competitive people, like, hey, I know that you aren't, but like they're gearing up for this. And then then once that's over, then you go, okay, now like having that casual aspect of it. Because obviously in a perfect world they coexist well, but like we don't live in a perfect world, and having that kind of compromise should
we
kind of
also
help
live,
that.
we live in a world where we're talking about a game that has purposefully eliminated variance and put the the advantage squarely in the camp of the better player, better deck.
Yeah.
Magic, you can be a casual person and just top deck somebody, playing their tier 1 deck. That shit's not happening here. So that's part of it too.
It's true.
That's why the policing has to be real.
Yeah, and that's a scary thing for Fab, is like games need to cater to a casual audience to survive. I think I've talked about this on here a lot. Like the reason Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic like are billion-dollar products is because kids at Target buy packs when they bug their parents and open them and then throw them away. Right? It's not because it's terrifying to think about. It's not like the grinder that buys the cheapest cards on TCG Player and then borrows the rest from his friends, right? So I think the onus should probably be to cater to the more casual players, which is tough, but your competitive players are always going to be there. Like they're always going to play the Armory, they're always going to play the Skirmish. So I think your competitive players know the burden that they have, as well as for that. Like you said, it's just conversation having. Logan, you'll find this super amusing. I played at a pre-release one time that back in the old TCG Player Invitational days, tried to double as a TCG Player bronze event, and they had decklist requirement for those. So your pre-release was a competitive RELD decklist required event, and it was the nightmare you could imagine. There was a DQ because somebody didn't know that you couldn't roll dice to determine the match result. Yeah, there was game losses because of deck reg errors, because this is the first time person's ever time in a game store, and they're being asked to do paperwork. And I think it was at the competitive store in the area, and I think it was just kind of like maybe an underestimation of how many casual players were there.
All of them.
Yeah, but
sorry,
hey, I got points. So
sure you did. I was so qualified for TCG Player so many times over, it just didn't fucking matter.
So, to give some people a flashback onto like how old this system was, is they used to hand you a card with physical numbers written on it.
The token. I still have some.
Yeah, like you didn't get points onto an account online that was verified and like stored in a database. You were handed a TCG sized card that said 10 or 25 or whatever points, and they were tradable. And like if you lost your point cards, that just sucked for you.
You're out.
Like you could go on TCGplayer.com and buy TCG Player points from like store stalls.
And they qualified you for a 50K.
Yeah.
And you could buy entering the 50K and also buy buys.
Yeah, so because more points for buys. Yeah.
Yeah, I had enough points to buy my entry, buy my 2 buys, and still have enough left over to sell somebody entry and a round 1 buy, and they just straight up gave me $1,000 cash.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
It was insane.
It was wild. It was Wild West.
It was so much fun though.
And then when this tournament series fell apart, we were all like, "What happened?"
Yeah, sure.
All right. We have not rapid fire through this at all. Question number 2. Okay. I'm going to be very clear to both of you before I start this. First off, who wants to go first?
Jordan.
Okay. I am going to set a timer for 30 seconds. When 30 seconds is up, I'm going to stop you.
So at 30 seconds, James White gets off the elevator?
Correct. All right. So
all right.
The question is, you have 30 seconds elevator pitch to James White about adding something to the game. Jordan, are you ready?
Fuck. Okay. Yeah, this has been on the docket for like 3 weeks. Teague asked a good question, and okay. Go.
Go.
Hey, James, my name is Jordan. I think what you should add into each pack of Flesh and Blood is a little card that says, hey, on Spotify, Apple, or iTunes, you can go and check out Flesh and Pod, your number one source for Flesh and Blood news, notes, and resources. And it's sponsored by Legend Story Studios. So you should consider that, slotting that in the little back there right behind that last common that you think should be in the middle because the rares are in the middle, but it's actually a common. You should put that right in that little pack there, Flesh and Pod. Bye, James. I actually don't know. We've talked to death about the unlimited versus first edition release.
30 seconds, my dude.
All right.
You got fucking ruined.
Oh my god, bodied. Absolutely
All right.
bodied.
Shit.
Logan, are you ready?
Oh shit. Yeah, let's go.
Teague, your question was way better than my answer, but I have no idea.
Okay, Jordan, your 30 seconds are up.
Try to be polite.
Okay, Logan, ready?
Let's go.
Go.
James, man, good to see you. What we need to do in Flesh and Blood right now is we need a team format. We need the ability to have team rankings and also have team pro tours. That way we can involve more people. We can drag more people into the game just by the virtue of having larger card pools to play from. And also just get more people involved with just, you're bringing 3 versus 1 to any event. That's going to help expand the game. It's going to help people learn the game as they learn with their teammates. And it's also going to just create a greater atmosphere, teamwork, cohesion, and a little bit of a casual fun aspect. You really need to think this through, and I feel like this is the best path.
Oh yeah, mate, that's a real good answer. I'll put that in my wallet. Mate.
Wallet? What the fuck?
Mate. I don't know. I assume you give my business.
Terrible.
Okay, Jordan, do you want to go again?
No, I don't want to go again.
Okay.
I did my best James White Kiwi impersonation there. How'd it go?
That was terrible.
It was not
bad.
good.
All right, Abby, I'm going to start a timer for you.
We have Kiwis in our fucking Discord. We have Kiwis that listen to the show. You just offended all of them by being how horrible that you... No.
I don't understand Kiwi slang at all, by the way. I have to Google it.
I'm trying to learn on Twitter.
Yeah, same. I Google
Melody,
it a lot.
thank you for
helping. You're saint.
You're saint.
All right, I'm going to time you, Abby. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Set. Go.
Hi, James. I think you should make Blitz more competitive because I hate hearing everyone say, oh, well, that's just Blitz. It's not a competitive format because I enjoy playing Blitz. Thank you.
At least 10 seconds.
So you guys
I don't need 30 seconds. I was very clear about what I wanted.
You should have
That's what I think you should do. You should make Blitz more competitive.
You were raised by carnies, and because of that, you have small hands.
He doesn't need to know the details as to why I want Blitz.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go down to the cricket ground later, so I'll talk to you later, boy.
That is still not good.
You're still horrible.
I'm going to hug a koala. Gotta
what
go.
the?
All right.
They love koalas. There's a lot of koalas. Are koalas native to New Zealand?
They don't hug them.
You wouldn't hug a koala?
Oh, I absolutely would. I'm just saying that that's not a common practice. I would hug anything. Every time I go to the zoo, I ask Jordan if I can get in a big cat cage and hug the cats. And he says, that's how you die. And I say, well, that's how I go. Every time we go to the zoo.
Is she insured, Jordan?
She is. So
roll them dice.
Roll them. If dangerous, why friend shaped? That's the
exactly.
That's the thing.
All right. Question number 3 is also from Fighting Walloon. We got a superstar here today. What are the most fertile areas for players who like to play jank in Fab? First off, I don't love that use of fertile.
Yeah, I was going to comment on
not a good enough reason to use
that. Fertile, eh?
Also, I don't know what jank is, so I will not be answering this question.
Oh, jank. Jank's a hard explanation, actually.
Fighting Walloon, they actually posted a link to jank to what jank is.
Well, that's helpful.
It's just a deck that's not meta. It doesn't work a lot, but when it does, it's really cool.
Style over substance.
That's yeah. Like you're gonna dab on people, but most of the time you're gonna be Chris Rock to their Will Smith.
Oh fucking Christ! We had to do that, didn't we?
Like this.
I wondered how long it would take.
that
turns out an hour.
That is. But it is very much just like a. Think of the swordsman from the first Indiana Jones. How he's like flashing a sword around and then he just like gets shot. Like he brought a knife to a gunfight. But imagine that like that one time the knife works.
You know the story behind that?
No.
So that was supposed to be a giant sword fight between Harrison Ford and that dude, and they had worked on the choreography for it and everything for literal weeks. But that day they were going to film it, Harrison Ford had food poisoning, and so he just pulled the gun and shot him instead, and that dude was pissed. Like straight up the
Oh,
most
because he
angry
worked
to
so
me.
hard for this scene that was going to
Right,
be
and
like
gets
his stunt career started, and like, yeah,
and
that's pretty
gets
funny.
completely bodied. Yeah. Because Harrison Ford was sick and they didn't have another day they could film it.
But
Okay.
Logan, you have more of a, I'm not super in tune with like the local scene here, and that's regrettable to me. But I don't know if I've played too much jank from like a
So common
when I do
so
go.
they're it's weird, right? The way that we address it, we are a very like we're a very open wide community in our area where it's fantastic when we just can say, hey, everybody, we're bringing jank tonight. We're bringing memes tonight. And everybody just kind of jumps in. I don't think that's going to exist everywhere because you're going to have somebody that's like, oh, everybody else is bringing shitty decks. I'm just going to go spike this thing for my 3 packs. Nobody around here is, well, not saying nobody. Most people around here aren't like that. They'll be like, oh, okay. I mean, we're the type of group where if we get a new guy in, everybody will bust their prize packs at the end of whatever. And we just call it bulking up the new guy.
Sure.
Or new person, where we just want to get them strong. So we just take our bulk, which is usually rares, majestics we don't care about, and we just go, here are your cards.
Yeah, these are yours now. Sure.
Yeah, and we do that constantly, to the point that like people are jockeying to not be the new person anymore because they've been bulked up so hard that they don't need to get stronger. They are
That's
nothing
funny.
but bulk at this point. They are so beefcake they can't fit through the door. Also, commoner is a very good spot for this because you don't have the tune the ability to tune as hard, so you can just do some jank shit that just does the thing every now and again, and that's good enough. Like in our particular play group, when I'm playing commoner, I'll usually just play Lexi because there's somebody in our play group that is completely averse to frostbite tokens. They could not hate frostbite more. And so I'm in there just to hope I get paired so I can just frostbite their dumb ass and make them feel bad about it and just get styled on by everybody else. That's totally fine.
Do you feel like Blitz is a similar avenue for jank because like there's access to more heroes that are silly? You have like Data Doll and stuff like that.
I feel like if you define it and say this is a jank night or a meme night, yes. But Blitz is becoming more and more and more not that. You get some of these really sweaty, very tuned, intricate, competitive Blitz decks now that Blitz is being supported as a competitive format. And it makes it super, like, you can get some super degenerate shit happening. Like, I saw somebody do a 34-point combat chain with Benji. I personally have been attacking people with 12 power Centauri sabers. I hit somebody so hard with KO that I thought they were going to vomit on the table. Like, which is also jank, so it kind of fits both ways because it's rolling dice. But yeah, it's that, right? Like, it's kind of back to the policing of the community. But if you want to get to a format that has the fertility you're looking for, Abby,
not a good enough use of that word.
Nope. Okay, I tried. I would say it's probably gotta be commoner.
That's fair. Let's quickly hit this last one.
Quickly.
Yeah, quickly.
Okay, this one is from our bestie Sleepy Jackal. Banned and restricted announcements are coming up soon. Should LSS preemptively retire Bravo? If not, what do we think they should do? Logan.
My answer to this question has been yes for weeks.
Jordan.
No.
You want it quick?
You wanted it quick? I wanted it quick.
There you go.
We all wanted it quick.
You want more?
There you go.
You want more?
Well, so I think Logan made a good point. We wanted to talk about this briefly this week because it is coming. Our next episode will come out the day of the BNR announcements, so we're not going to get a ton of time. It'll be old news by the time we know what the news is.
And we might emergency pod depending, but
yeah, I think if it's bananas, we might emergency pod. But like, I think that at this point there's two schools of thought. One is let like the living legend system do its thing. Don't hurt other decks that would be caught in the crosshairs, whatever that might be. Or hey, let's just health of the game. We know it. This writing's on the wall, and I don't think either one of them is wrong, to be honest.
So here's my question: if they decide not to, and the thought is, well, he is gonna Living Legend out at the Pro Tour, so it'll happen organically. What if he doesn't?
So the what if
What?
he does is an interesting thought experiment, and it would be and that was the thought experiment for me up until they announced the ProQuest season happening before the next set is released.
Oh, that's right. That's
He'll
right.
definitely do it by then.
Correct. The odds of it not happening had basically just got reduced to 0. And since that's the case, that's why I'm like, rip off the Band-Aid, do it now, give us a fresh format that is something people want to play, want, and explore. Right now, there's really the room to explore is narrow. You're exploring within decks. You're not exploring decks. You take Starvo out of the equation, you're back to exploring decks. Heroes that are not playable now, suddenly you're going back to the drawing board and you're checking. You're seeing if this is actually doable. That's where my brain's at.
I think I get that. I come at it from a similar input and just get a different output on that, knowing that we're going to get it banned before the next format. I don't know, man. I think we need to take a broader look, and maybe this is a segment for next week if news is slow ahead of the BNR announcement of like what the Living Legend system A purports itself to be, B is in reality, and C like what LSS. I can't even remember their name for Christ's sake. Thank you, Legend Story Studios. I was like, Living Stories? Nope, that's not it.
Been drinking.
Yeah, LSS is treating it as, and there's a lot of, I think, with whatever camp you come at from that, there's a lot of conflicting data inputs that would hamper any clean conclusion. So I think it ultimately comes down to like if they're gonna retire Stravo, I think I'm okay with that. If they're gonna do bans and like restrictions and stuff like that to get Stravo weaker, I hate that.
I don't want that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't want that at all. It's retire or nothing. I think that those are the only acceptable options.
Right. Because like if retirement is like a rotation mechanism, it's broken. But if it's not, and it's like a because like there's no way this was supposed to rotate from February.
No.
Right.
God, no.
Right.
But if it's not, and it's like a power safety valve, like then they don't treat it like that. We've seen with other things like Chain or Prior, and what they'll have to consider doing in a world that Prism exists. Right. So there's a lot to think about, and it's probably a whole segment on its own. But I think just because we have separate answers doesn't mean that we don't share the same thoughts about the process.
I feel like it definitely is its own segment.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of things to talk about there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So we will circle that back up before the BNR. And the final question is my question.
Abby question.
Surprise. So I'm just trying to get the timeline together on this. When are we going to get our possum mascot? Because it has been asked for by the people.
Well, hey, thanks everybody for checking out this episode of Flesh and Pod.
You can find us on Twitter at Flesh Pod.
Neither
and
of you
Discord. A link to that will be down in the show notes.
So let's be clear.
If you want to reach out to us, shoot us an email, fleshandpod@gmail.com.
Neither
Logan,
of you can do that as
Logan,
well
where can people find you on Twitter?
At Logan Peterson on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't tagged you in like a week, so maybe you should be nice.
That's funny. You can find me on Twitter
3 fucking days ago.
Well, that's
at I'm Jerman, IMGORMAN, always tweeting in and around politics and flesh and blood. And
so I just want to be very clear to the people that.
Possum.
There we go. Thank you.
That's fine. One, I will not have that dirty rodent anywhere near me, so it has to live with you.
We're not buying a possum. So.
Yes, we are. Did you not listen to what I just said?
I was doing the outro.
I do agree with if we're in agreement that the possum stays with you.
Of course.
I am in favor of giving the people what they want.
Okay, perfect.
I am definitely.
So far, the people is Chuck. Okay.
Hey, he's my people. That's fine.
You know what? I owe Chuck after what did I call sushi in
shrimpsies? You called them shrimpsies.
Shrimpsies.
Yeah, I was like, I'll eat one of your shrimpsies, and he goes, "Excuse me, what the fuck?"
Nope. And he promptly withdrew his offer.
He did.
He's like, nope. Nope.
You know these aren't for you.
These aren't for you at all.
These shrimpsies.
No, that's not what I meant.
All right. So we will get that timeline together and keep you all posted on that.
Yeah, as long as it lives in.
Of course, it's going to live with me.
Central Ohio. That's fine.
As always, you can find us on Twitter at FlushPod. You can join our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. You can give us a 5-star review on Apple. You can subscribe on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can like and subscribe on YouTube. If you're so inclined, you can shoot us an email at flushandpod@gmail.com. My Twitter is at AbbyD83. I tweet various things. Mostly
related
tweets.
Possums and other animals. I, honest to God, don't think I've wordled for like a week because I just keep forgetting to do it in the morning.
Because the possums are there.
And eventually when football starts back up, I'm sure you'll see tweets like that, but that's a while out. Yeah. Logan, what's your Twitter?
I am at Logan Peterson on Twitter, tweeting about mostly Flesh and Blood. I have suddenly got into tweeting about neo steampunk fashion. Thanks, Melody. And then also baseball. Yeah. One of our Discord people got on this thing where she was talking about, I would not want to buy this jacket. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna look at this jacket. I'm like, God, this jacket is dope. And it was like something like Akira crossed with Neuromancer crossed with the most neon thing you can think of. And I'm like, it just looks great. And I was like, I kind of want this bomber jacket. Well, luckily I'm a fatty and there are literally no way that my size. Oh, fuck, they have my size. God damn it. Why are things? And I haven't ordered it yet, but it's probably just going to happen. I'm
going to go find this jacket because I need to know what you're talking about.
Oh, there are several of them and they are unreal looking. Some of them are just incredible. AZ Gaming, had a promo code with them. I think they're like 85 euros, but they look sweet. So yeah, I got caught up in that. And then also baseball. I just got back from Arizona, so I will probably be tweeting about baseball quite a bit. So
that's awesome.
Jordan, what are you doing these days?
I'm always tweeting at I'm Jorman. I am JORMAN. Either politics, Flesh and Blood, a lot of sports, Will Smith memes. Today was a Will Smith meme day. A lot of cricket lately. Been watching a lot of
underrated.
Yeah, cricket's very fun. Got into it over the pandemic, and it's baseball light and or baseball adjacent. I guess is probably
baseball
more fair.
Adjacent.
Yeah, more fair because it's very different skill sets. I don't think Mike Trout could go and be a world class cricketer.
Yeah, like hitting a home run behind you. Is, effectively something that is really hard to comprehend.
Off of the bounce too.
Yeah, off the bounce. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a different skill and it's fun to watch. But honestly, that's about it. Just I'm excited to watch the Pro Tour, regardless of whether I do it here from Ohio or in person in New Jersey. There's a lot of good things coming down the pipeline for the game, so I'm excited to keep talking about it. And we did Abby's bit already. So.
Did you find the jacket yet, Abby?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to keep looking after this.
All right,
I'll find it eventually.
There are like 4 different designs, and they're all sweet.
That is all we have this week. If you want to catch any of us, you can hop in the Discord and talk about how you want me to get a possum so I can make that happen.
You'll be quickly banned from the Discord.
We will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.